We are back. We got an 8-game slate to talk about here on Thursday. Welcome, guys. My name is DK. In this video, we break down the 8-game NBA DFS slate. Also cover content for Prize Picks, Underdog, and Parlay Play. Guys, if you're not on Parlay Play, you can use the link down below for a $100 deposit match bonus. Or you can use the code DKDFS. If you're not familiar, it's a player pop site. You're building out slips of player pops, and you can win now up to 155x your money. So if you do click that link and deposit, it does help support the channel. And if you guys look for more content, as always, you can check my Patreon link down below. What a crazy night it was. Let's first start with DFS. So DFS, I told everyone, okay, well, we'll start with this tweet, right? We'll go over my Twitter here in a sec, but I tweeted this at the beginning of the day, how I did not think Mikal Bridges was going to play normal minutes because all the other vets were resting, and the fact that he was trying to keep his streak alive for most consecutive starts. So that ended up happening. But I told people on the Patreon stream that I was building multiple lineups tonight because I felt like the Nets could do so many different things. I had a few Nets troll lineups where, like, okay, they don't play their main guys. I was pretty sure Mikal Bridges was not going to play normal minutes, but I was like, okay, maybe guys like, I was worried about Royce O'Neal. I thought Cam Thomas would play normal minutes, but I was like, okay, I'll make a couple lineups where, I have like all the scrubs, again, the bench guys for the Nets and fade the starters. So those lineups were looking good, but unfortunately, I had Harry Giles in those lineups. I had Armani Brooks in that one and Harry Giles in the couple lineups that I was playing for the Nets to troll. But again, if I had Jalen Wilson instead of Harry Giles, I would have been a millionaire. But no, I went to Harry Giles, who barely played, only played 7 minutes. I'm not sure what happened, if he got banged up or what. But it was Jalen Wilson, the unknown value that you needed. I went to Brooks and Giles in those couple lineups. And then I had a few lineups. And again, I rarely ever build multiple lineups. I felt like I had to tonight. I had a couple lineups where I played Cam Thomas and Day'Ron Sharpe and Dennis Smith Jr. But again, unfortunately, Cam Thomas was grouped together with Mikal Bridges, and he did not play normal. Yeah, so I did not win in DFS. But I know this tweet made people thousands of dollars for Mikal Bridges just using alt lines and taking his unders. I know not every single person was able to cash because he did have 3 rebounds in the one quarter he played, and he did have like 1 block. But let me just say this. I have been getting, it's insane, man. Twitter is an insane place. You don't understand how much hate I got for tweeting out the edge that I saw. Like, look at what these people are saying. Hold on. It is wild, man. Wild what I'm reading. So this guy said, it's Kirk Evans guy. Truly, with all my heart, I wish nothing but bad things for this person. When I was victory lapping the Mikal Bridges stuff. And I said, why? He said, you ruined an opportunity for people to make unbelievable amounts of money. I found the edge and tweeted it out, but I ruined it for others? How does that make any sense? This Joey Kinch guy, Pardo, this guy's the new recorded and posted national anthem time guy, and he thinks he's a hero. Sad. And this guy said, by helping people, I mean helping strangers get their accounts flagged and not make that much money because they're poor morons, then yes. Wild stuff, man. Wild stuff. I never would have thought I would have got this type of reaction by giving out the Mikal Bridges edge, making people thousands of dollars. But I have so many people coming for my head. I'm just going to say this before we get in the breakdown. You guys know that I'm usually very sarcastic on this channel, and then, I tilt a lot, right? So there's outside of the breakdowns, there's very few times when I'm, like, serious. I'm just going to say this really quick. I don't give a shit about, just keeping secrets to myself or clout or anything like that. The reason I do this channel and Twitter is I enjoy helping people win, make money. So, all these haters, man, this is me. This is going to be me tonight. Literally incredible, man. Incredible, the stuff that I'm reading on Twitter. But I had to say that really quick. All right, so let's get into the breakdown here. Detroit, Boston, first game here. So for Detroit, no Stewart. Killian Hayes is probable, and Asur Thompson is also probable. Now, this game has blowout risk. Obviously, the Pistons are huge dogs here on the road in Boston. But I will say, Boston they are listing Tatum and Brown as questionable. So if they both sit, there's a better chance the Pistons can keep it competitive. If you notice recently, the Pistons have been running much tighter rotations of late. I mean, Kate got in foul trouble last game. He still played 37 minutes. Bojan Bogdanovic played 39 minutes last game. Jalen Duren, first game back, played, 33 minutes. First game in like a month, he played 33 minutes. Ivy played close to 30 minutes. So they're running their main guys a ton. I'm interested in some of these main Pistons, but just for tournaments. And then it'll be interesting to see what they do with the starting lineup with Isaiah Stewart out. My guess is he probably get a guy like a Stuart Thompson moving the starting lineup. They could go to Isaiah Livers. I know I saw a tweet the other day with Isaiah Livers was practicing in a starter's jersey. So my guess is it's one of a Stuart Thompson or Isaiah Livers that pick up the start. But mainly interested in the top end guys for the Pistons in tournaments. And then for Boston, just comes down to Tatum and Brown. If they're both in, it's going to be a tough team to prioritize. I know it's a great spot, but it would just be massive blowout risk. If they're both out, then that changes things. Then I'm really high on guys like Drew and Derek White and Porzingis. Al Horford will look good. Hauser would probably start. My guess is they would probably go White, Holiday, Hauser, Horford, Porzingis. You would see more minutes for guys like a guy like Peyton Pritchard, who would look like a decent value. Cato would get some run. So this Boston team would look pretty good if Tatum and Brown are both out. But they're both in. Nothing really stands out. Now, Indiana and Chicago, Bruce Brown is out. So they should. The Pacers did switched up the starting lineup last game. Started Jalen Smith and Naismith. I slammed Jalen Smith, dealt with some foul trouble, and got injured. Went to the locker room, but still in 22 minutes, went for 30 fancy points. If he starts again, I do like Jalen Smith. The only downside is he's only center eligible. Naismith also started. He played 30 minutes. I think he's reasonable. But again, the Pacers are going to ride the hot hand with these wings, right? Buddy Hield, like he came off the bench. He still played 33 minutes. You got Nembhard who played 34 minutes last game. Mathurin, minutes been up and down. So there's always like Obi Toppin moved to the bench, only played 15 minutes. But like, the Pacers are going to ride the hot hand with these wings. So there's always just some risks there. As far as the top end guys go, I mean, Halliburton at 10.3, I think makes him look a decent play here. Should play, high 30s minutes. You got Miles Turner, 6.9K. Minutes have fluctuated into him, but still a guy that is viable in GPPs. And then, I think that's it for the Pacers. Let's move on to Chicago. So, no Vooch, no Levine. Now, you might get some sticker shock looking at this Andre Drummond price point, 7.5K, but it's honestly still too cheap. Played 38 minutes last game. He should be like a 9K plus player. 7.5K is still underpriced without Nikola Vucevic. So I love Drummond. I think he's one of the best plays in the mid-range. DeRozan, this guy's lost me just infinite money this year, but should play big minutes in a great spot. He looks good. Kobe White, finally played him last night. My first time playing Kobe White in forever. 0 of 7 from 3. Again, more proof there's no humans that run worse on this planet. Pat Williams, also my first time playing him this season. You better believe he sees limited minutes when I finally buy in. They went to Ayo more off the bench. He played 35 minutes. So Ayo, Caruso, Pat Williams, all guys that are viable options here. I think Caruso's minutes are the most secure. With Pat Williams and Ayo, I think they're going to go with whoever, kind of ride the hot hand there. You did see a little bit of Javon Carter. He played 20 minutes off the bench. Dalen Terry saw rotation minutes, but only 7 minutes. And then you saw a little bit of Terry Taylor. He played the backup 5. Now, I would not be surprised if you see a little bit of the rookie, Adama Sanogo. He's been playing really well in the G League, so I could see him possibly seeing some backup 5 run, but I just wanted to mention that, not a guarantee. Utah and New Orleans, so we'll keep an eye on the Utah news with the starting lineup. It was Keontae George and THT's first game back in a bit, so they brought him off the bench. I could see Keontae starting this game, but we'll monitor it. Also, Fontecchio is questionable. Not really that important, though. Top end guys here, you got Lauri Markkanen, 8.4K. No longer on a minutes limit. Good matchup. Decent spot for him, I should say. I think Lauri's solid. Also, Clarkson off the bench has played well last couple games. I think he's interesting for tournaments. The rest of the guards, you got 6.3K for Sexton, who if he continues to start, I do have some interest in him. But again, the guards' minutes are just not secure because you got Keontae George, you got THT, you also have Chris Dunn. So, the guard rotation's kind of, I think they're going to go with a hot hand here. Don't really know if it gets anyone else like Collins or Kessler. On the New Orleans side, so everyone's sub 8K. I think all the main guys look decent here. Brandon Ingram, 7.8. Zion Williamson, 7.7. You got JV at 7.1. Played 36 minutes last game. I have interest in all the main guys. CJ, sub 7K. It's been a little bit quiet of late, but price point has dropped. So, yeah, I mean, the Pelicans are running a tight rotation. Herb Jones, Trey Murphy kind of round out the main guys. Trey Murphy's been playing a lot recently, 34, 36 minutes over the last couple games. I like his upside in tournaments. The minutes have ticked down a little bit on Herb Jones. Don't really know if I get to anyone else, like the likes of like Alvarado or Najee Marshall or Dyson Daniels, anyone like that. Dallas and Minnesota. So Luka Doncic, 11.8K. I mean, I've been playing him a ton. He's been winning me a ton of money. And yeah, I mean, I like him again here. Kyrie out. I mean, he's just, again, without Kyrie, they're running him into the ground with minutes. Like, he's playing 40-plus minutes a night. So, yeah, I like Luka a good amount there at the top. I think Hardaway and Exum are both reasonable plays in the mid-range. Both have flashed the ceiling playing alongside Luka. Lively's up and down. If he can avoid foul trouble, he should play 30-plus minutes. He did deal with some foul trouble tonight, though. The wings, Jones Jr. and Grant Williams are playable. You did see Josh Green come back. I'll be interested to see if he plays on a back-to-back tomorrow. On the Minnesota side, it comes down to Karl-Anthony Towns, right? If Karl-Anthony Towns is out, then I do like Anthony Edwards a good amount there at the top. And then you're going to get more run for guys like Slow-Mo and McDaniels, NAW, guys like that. But Cat did play last game after being listed as questionable, so I assume he will play. With that being said, I think it's mainly the top-end guys, Anthony Edwards and Karl-Anthony Towns, I have some interest in. Not much anyone else. Gobert feels priced right. Same with Conley. My boy Naz Reid plays well off the bench, but again, price point's up on him. So talk about Memphis and Denver. And Ja Goat Morant, you love to see him just smashing. You guys know how much I love Ja, but he is questionable. This is big news. It could open up a good amount here for Memphis. If Ja is in, I think Ja is the main guy of Anderson, and then, Bane, Triple J, Marcus Smart would all be viable options. I will say the center rotation, 4.6K for Tillman and 4.5K for Biyombo are both interesting options because against a big Denver team, you would assume one of those guys is going to be out there at all times. So a little bit interested in the Memphis bigs there. The minutes have ticked down on Vince Williams. I think I would rather play Marcus Smart at a similar price point. And then, yeah, if Ja is out, then things change. Then guys like Bane and Triple J look way better. Marcus Smart becomes a much better play. Vince Williams looks better. But there would be more blowout risk, too, if Ja does not play. On the Denver side, pretty easy to talk about. You got Nikola Jokic, 11.3K. Looks good at the top. Hasn't had the same floor plus ceiling without Jamal Murray, or when Jamal Murray's out the court. But Jamal Murray, or what I mean to say, Jokic is still playable. Jamal Murray at 7.7. Minutes have been low to mid 30s. I think he's still a little bit underpriced here. Now, Aaron Gordon is out. So, be interesting to see who starts for Aaron Gordon. I think they could do a couple different things. I mean, we've seen Justin Holiday get starts. They could start Peyton Watson. They could start Christian Brown. I'm not sure exactly who they go to, but whoever does start for Aaron Gordon is going to be a viable value play. Michael Porter Jr. also does look a little bit better without Aaron Gordon. I like his ceiling. And then, yeah, like I said, like guys like Watson and Brown, Holiday, I'm interested in them. Whoever starts is going to be playable. San Antonio, Portland, I mean, Popovich has just been trolling, man. The guy just keeps switching up the starting lineup every single game. He's not playing Wembanyama full minutes. I mean, I just don't know what to do. I'll be honest with you guys. I have no idea what to do with this team. If you told me Wembanyama played normal minutes, and what normal is like low 30s, I would love him at this price point. But minutes have not been there. Devin Vassell should play low 30s minutes, but price point feels about right. Keldon, they brought him off the bench. I don't really know what to make of his minutes. I mean, he still played 30 minutes, but his minutes are a bit more up in the air. Jeremy Sohan probably plays around 30 minutes. Reasonable. Zach Collins is 6.3. I mean, he's kind of unplayable with Wembanyama there. Branham, Trey Jones, Champagny had a good game in the starting lineup. If he starts again, he's fine. But I would say that's a bit of an outlier last game, going for 30 fantasy points in 25 minutes. It's just, this team really tilts me. So, I mean, there's some playable options here, but there's nothing I feel great about for the Spurs. On the Portland side, a little bit different. I like a lot of Portland. Really, really like the Blazers tomorrow. Anthony Simons, 8.2K. One of my favorite plays in the upper mid-range. He should play high 30s minutes. He's their go-to guy. Great spot. Really like him. Malcolm Brogdon's minutes have ticked up of late. 37, 30 minutes over the last couple games. If he continues to play 30-plus minutes, I'm going to have some interest in him. Jeremy Grant's minutes have been a little bit disappointing, but I would expect low 30s minutes. He's viable for tournaments. The real value plays here for Portland are these bigs. With DeAndre Ayton confirmed out, you're going to get most likely Moses Brown and Duop Reith splitting the center position. I have interest in both. Now, Moses Brown started last game. He only played 14 minutes, but he could play more. And Moses Brown is a good point per minute guy. So I'm interested in him, and I'm interested in Duop Reith, who came off the bench and played 32 minutes and absolutely smashed. So, yeah, these two cheap Blazers bigs in Reith and Brown I have interest in. And then I do have interest in Jabari Walker as well. I think it's possible he could play some small ball 5, and he's not a bad point per minute guy. So there's a good amount to like here for these Portland bigs. As far as the wings go, you got Kamara, 4.1. Minutes have been a little bit disappointing. Thibault, 3.9. Minutes have been a little bit up and down. They're both playable. Scoot Henderson, also didn't mention him, but I would expect somewhere around like 25 minutes, which makes him a viable tournament play. Couple games left. Miami, Golden State. This one's hard to talk about. Miami, Jimmy Butler, questionable. Duncan Robinson, questionable. Lowry, questionable. Martin, doubtful. Jay Rich, doubtful. If all these questionable players are out, then there's a lot to like here for Miami. Bam, Hero, Hawkes would just play massive minutes. I think Kevin Love would probably start and play big minutes. And then we got to start considering guys, like Highsmith and Jamal Cain and RJ Hampton and Jovic. If the questionable guys are in and the doubtful guys obviously don't play, then I don't think there's any standouts. But like I would have interest in the top 3 guys in Bam, Hero, and Butler. And then some of these wings would be playable: Hawkes, Duncan, Lowry. So Miami, again, a little bit tough to talk about. On the Golden State side, no Draymond still. Steph Curry, sub 9K, always have interest in for tournaments. But again, the floor is low on him. Klay Thompson, 6.4. Minutes have been pretty secure of late. He's fine. Chris Paul, 5.7K, should play high 20s minutes. I think he's a pretty safe play off the bench. Podziemski's been playing big minutes. I think he looks pretty good. I think he'll probably be the most popular Warrior. You got Kuminga, 5.5. He should play 25 to 30 minutes, like his upside. Andrew Wiggins off the bench, is viable. Again, Golden State has been in a bit of a tighter rotation of late. I want to mention Jackson Davis as well. His minutes have been a little bit up and down, but if Looney struggles or Sarge struggles, they can go to Jackson Davis, and he does have a ceiling. So definitely someone that I have interest in for GPPs. Again, you can make the same thing, say the same thing about guys like Sarge and Looney, right? This front court with the minutes, it's Looney or Kerr's going to go with the hot hand there. And then finally, Charlotte and the Lakers. No LaMelo Ball, no Gordon Hayward. Mark Williams, doubtful. Brandon Miller, questionable. So if this game stays competitive, you know why, right? It's going to be Rozier. It's going to be Miles Bridges. I like the ceiling quite a bit here in 8.3K Rozier. 7.8K Miles Bridges should also play big minutes. So those two look good. Nick Richards should start. He played 30-plus minutes last couple games. I like him at that price point. Washington should play the backup 5. He looks good. Brandon Miller, if he is in, I think probably starts and plays mid-30s minutes. If he's out, and then we had to start considering some of these value plays, unfortunately. Guys like Bryce McGowan's at 4.1K would be playable. You have Cody Martin finally back. He played 25 minutes last game. He's interesting. So I would have a little bit interested in some of this value, even though it's gross for Charlotte. And finally, the Lakers. You got LeBron, AD, questionable. I'm expecting both to play. Reddish is also questionable, as Vanderbilt is probable. I think they all go. If everyone plays for the Lakers, then I have interest in the top guys, LeBron and AD. I would have a little bit of interest in Rui for tournaments. His minutes have ticked up since D'Lo moved to the bench. 30 and 29 minutes over the last couple of games. So, yeah, that's it for the Lakers. And that's going to do it for the video as well. As always, if you do enjoy, just make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you guys all in the next video.